Hello, welcome to Texas Style Cuisine. Glad to have you here. Today we got a special guest. I have my wife joining in with me, and we're going to be making you a brunch this morning. That's going to be a smoked sausage frittata. Now, for some of y'all that don't know what a frittata is, you're going to see how we get to doing this. We're going to start it out on the camp stove, then we're going to move to our Dutch ovens, and you're going to go, wow, that's kind of like a mountain man breakfast. Exactly right. The nice way to call this is a frittata, or I guess the classy people call it that. And so we're going to show you a really nice frittata this morning.
Well, we're classy.
I think so. Okay. We're making a frittata. We have the stove set up. As y'all can see, this is my old Coleman stove. This is a October 1973 model. Still in great shape. We still use it when we go camping. And this is what we're going to be cooking our sauteing our vegetables on to get ready. So I'm going to let my wife get started with that. We're going to add a little olive oil to the pan, just enough to saute it with. Now, one thing to remember, to keep your non-stick going on your on your cast iron is get the cast iron hot first, then add your oil, then add your vegetables on top of your hot oil. That will help them not to want to stick in that cast iron pan. Now this pan does have a very good seasoning in it also, so you're not going to have to worry about that. But we're going to cook these, let them start getting tender, and then we're going to dump our potatoes on top of that. All right, these vegetables are starting to get translucent. I'm going to add our Polish sausage. Now that is a mixture of beef and pork sausage, and also it has already been smoked, so it has a smoky flavor to it. So we're just reheating the sausage.
Okay,
now in this we had, I'd say 3/4 of a cup of onions, about the same of bell pepper. We have different colors in there. And then we had about 4 links of sausage. Less than a pound is what 4 links would be, probably about 13 ounces, maybe something like that. We're going to heat up that sausage, then we'll add our potatoes. All right, now we're going to add our potatoes. What do you think? A little more? So about a cup and a half. All right, we've got about maybe a cup and a half of hash brown potatoes, just frozen hash brown potatoes. A lot of times on something like Mountain Man Breakfast, you'll see them use a dozen eggs and 2 pounds of hash browns. Will be kind of that recipe that you see on a lot of those. This, we're not going to use that many potatoes on.
I think you're good.
Okay. Now what we're doing is we're trying to get these vegetables tender, because it only take about 30, 40 minutes to cook this. And if you don't pre-saute or pre-cook your vegetables by sauteing those, they're going to be tough. They're not going to be tender. So we want them to have a little more tender on our onions and our bell peppers. How are they? You getting tender? All right, so it's time for our eggs. Mm-hmm. All right, now what we're going to do is we're going to take the cast iron skillet away. We're going to add this to our Dutch oven with a little oil on it, and then we'll get it over on the fire and get it going. And I am preheating this oven just a little bit. We're going to get some oil up on the sides. You could use a low oven. This actually is a high top. I just didn't have a low 12-inch here this morning, so I'm using the high top. That's what the house had. I was too lazy to run out to the barn and get one of the low ones. But this is going to work fine. So let's put in our vegetables and our smoked sausage. All right, now we're going to add our eggs on top of that. We have a dozen eggs we've already scrambled up, and our seasonings are on there. We just have salt, pepper, and garlic.
That's funny.
There's a little shell there. Don't put that shell in. Never mind.
I didn't see.
That's all right. Look good? Look good? All right, that looks good. It's nice and even. Now we're going to take it over and get it on top of the fire. Right there. We're going to cook this for about 30 to 40 minutes. So, like always, I start off with lodge facing me where I know where it's at. I can read the lodge, I can read the 12. Make sure my coals are tucked under the edge. Now, if I was doing this with briquettes, I'd have about 10 briquettes under there. But we're using charcoal, so just about the equivalent of that. And since this is a high top, I'll put a little extra up on top. Then about the last 5 minutes, we're going to let this cook. And we're actually going to add some cheese to it. All right, there it goes. All right, we've been going for 15 minutes. We want to spin our Dutch oven. This is our biscuits. They're not ready to be spun yet, but frittata is. So I'm going to go quarter of a turn. Then I'm going to take our lid, not lifting it up, spinning it back. That way it stays even heat on top of it. And I go right back up on top with my biscuits. Let them go for 15 minutes. All right, time to check our frittata. Take our biscuits off, grab our lid, that up. Oh yeah, looks good. Might be a little bit done on the bottom. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it off the fire. I don't want any heat under it at all. Move it to there. Spin my lid, quarter turn back. Yeah. You see that in there? Yes. Let that top go a little bit more. Then I'm gonna go get the cheese to put on top of the frittata. Ready for that, Mama? Here, I'll let you get it. Okay, here's my wife, Libby, with cheese. So I'm gonna go downwind with it. Sprinkle that across the top, sweetheart. And we're just gonna go long enough more to let this let the cheese melt. You can use your fingers, it won't hurt. Go ahead. There you go. So, heat coming down from the top will melt the cheese. That bottom's plenty hot. Looks like it might even be a little bit overdone. But let that go. Biscuits are still going, so I'm going to set them up on top. See how they turn out. All right, let's see how our frittata turned out. I'm going to cut that up a little bit. A big slice there, Mama. First slice, always a hard one to get out. Going from the side. There you go. Try that. All right. Okay, let's get our frittata out. A little overcooked on the bottom, but I bet you it's going to be all right. Looks pretty good there. Not terrible. We'll just pick around that part. Nice and pretty. Okay. Thanks for stopping by Texas Style Cuisine. We really do appreciate it when you come by there. If you get a chance, give us a thumbs up. If you like the video, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, we'd really appreciate it if you would do that. Until next time, be safe, be blessed, and we'll see you down the road on Texas Style Cuisine.
Sitting by the wagon when the sun come up this morning, bacon, eggs, and coffee, biscuits, and beans. Cookie strikes the bell and he rings the world a warning. How them boys put food away beats all I've ever seen.